This week, I'm going to lead you through a gentle morning yoga practice. We're going to start slow and easy and get the hips, get the spine moving for the day ahead. Let's get started. So this gentle practice is for all levels of yogis, and you don't need any props for this practice. So you might just roll out of your bed onto your yoga mat and start to move. So we're going to do a gentle wake up yoga session this morning, and we're going to start easy in child's pose. So once you have rolled out of the bed, you have some kind of practice space ready, come lie down, sorry, not lying down, come into your child's pose, but you have an option if you want to start from lying down on the belly. So if you feel that in the morning the knees, the hips, the feet don't agree with your child's pose, then feel free to lie down on the belly. That is an option as well. And slowly lean your head down. You could either lean head all the way down onto the mat, or you could bring hands under the head. And wherever you are, either in child's pose or lying down, just a few breaths. Rock your pelvis from side to side, allowing a bit of gentle movement in that pelvic lower back area. And send a few breaths down towards the belly. If that movement feels good, you could continue a bit longer, or you can find a moment of stillness after that rocking movement to check in how the hips, how the lower back feel now in the morning. And let's take a couple more breaths in and out. Now send these couple of breaths towards the back. So breathing towards the back side of the body. Just gentle in the morning, opening up the spaces inside the body with the breath. And then with your next few breaths, either from lying down on the belly or from child's pose, bring yourself up onto hands and knees, onto all fours. And you can bring hands about under your shoulders, knees about under your hips. And we're going to do a few cat-cow movements for the spine. With your own next breath, round your spine up towards the ceiling. You'd send the breath towards the back side. And then open the chest. So find a gentle back bend. You could turn the tailbone up. And now send the breath towards the chest, towards the front side. Same again. Round your spine. You can tuck the tailbone under, push the floor away with your hands. And then open the chest. This is the cow pose. Find a gentle back bend, opening through the chest. We'll do this 2 more times. Follow the pace of your own breath and let your head move. So bring chin towards the chest as you round the back. And then as you open the chest, you could look slightly forward or even higher up if that feels good in your neck. 1 more round, or finish the round that you're doing right now. 1 more back bend, opening through the chest. And then find a neutral spine. So bring your back to center. And then from this all fours pose, step your left foot forward to your hands so that when you lean the pelvis slightly forward, you could maybe start to find a bit of opening in the front of the right thigh, hip. You could still press down through that left foot, so find a place where you can ground that left foot. And now you have a choice. Either stay here, lower dragon pose, or With the next in-breath, start to lift your back, lift your arms up, opening the chest more and engaging through the back body a bit more as well. Still keeping tops of the shoulders soft. Take a couple more breaths in and out wherever you are. In your morning dragon, good morning dragon pose. And then slowly, slowly bring hands down if you lifted your back up. And then step both knees again behind you on the mat. Now spread the palms, step hands tiny bit further forward. And then tuck the toes under, lift your pelvis up into a downward facing dog. Now it might be that the backs of the legs feel stiff, so you could walk from one foot to the other, you could move the ankles, move the hips, you can let your pelvis kind of tilt from side to side. So no need to keep the hips in the same level. And let the heavy head drop down, so really feel the heaviness of the head. Allow that to release the neck. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly bring your knees back down onto the mat, back onto all fours. And we're going to do that dragon pose on the other side. So now step your right foot forward. It doesn't need to be right in the center. I quite like to step the foot a bit more out to the side, just because it gives a bit more space for my hips, for my pelvis. And you could lean the pelvis tiny bit further forward. Maybe you find gentle opening at the front of the left thigh, hip, maybe at the back of the right leg. And either keep your hands down, or as you inhale, start to lift your back, lift your arms up. Just let the arms float up. We don't need to tense them too much. Maybe this time round you could try a bit of a back bend. If you have lifted your back up, feel free to lean the shoulders tiny bit further back. But still keeping neck soft, keeping tops of the shoulders soft. And breathe in and out. And then slowly, slowly, again, bring your hands down if you had your arms, your back up. And now leave your right foot in front and send your pelvis back. So now we are extending the right leg more. You could bring your right leg a bit more out to the side, kind of the foot on the side of the mat. And then bring your hands on the inside of your right leg. Half splits pose. And we're going to here go into a twist. So now leave your left hand down, and then as you inhale, open your chest out towards the right, and you could either lengthen your right arm up, or you could also bring that right arm behind the back if you want. Now we don't need to fully straighten that front leg. It could be that it's still bent, but looking for a bit more of an opening at the back of that right leg. You could turn toes up to the ceiling. That might pull a bit more in the calf. And take another couple of breaths in and out. You can look up, you could look down to the mat. And then slowly release the twist. Bring your both hands to the mat. And then bring that right leg behind you. And now step hands again further forward. We're going to inhale, come forward onto the hands and knees. So almost like a plank, but knees on the mat. And from there, you could bend the elbows slightly. Exhale, find a big cobra pose. But listen to your back. If the back feels tense, if the back feels a bit fragile now in the morning, you could lower down so that you bring your ribs, the lowest ribs, down onto the mat. But find your cobra. So it's a back bend for the spine. Soften tops of the shoulders. Take another breath in and out. The neck is free. Breathe into the chest space. And then slowly, if you are very high up in that cobra, first lower your chest all the way down. If needed, adjust your hands closer to the shoulders. And from here, lift onto hands and knees, tuck the toes under, and then lift all the way back up into downward facing dog. Second downward dog. Feel free to move the feet again if you want. Shake the head, the neck. And then we're going to find our way into the half split and twist on the other side. So now bring knees down and then extend your left leg in front of you, or again, maybe slightly on the left side of the mat. Hands on the inside of that left leg. Just find a place where there is a bit of an opening, or maybe a bit more intense opening at the back of that left leg. Now on this side, right hand stays down, and we're going to inhale, turn chest out to the left. So twisting through the spine, you might be twisting through the hips, either left arm up or left arm behind the back. And the twist comes from the chest, from the ribs. So don't force the shoulders or the arms too much. You could look down to the mat if that releases the neck more. Take another breath or two in and out. And then slowly release that twist. Bring both hands to the mat. And now from this half split, we're going to first bring both legs behind us, but then slide the left knee under the chest, step left hand further forward on the mat, and now inhale, turn pelvis and chest out to the side of the mat. And here we come into a gate pose. You can bring the left shin behind you. Maybe turn right foot toes up towards the ceiling if that allows you to twist your belly, your chest more up to the ceiling. Right arm reaching up. And you could then reach the right arm all the way kind of over the head. So finding a side bend. And it might be nice to move here. Rock the weight between the left hand and the right foot. So I'm kind of turning toes up to the ceiling and then pointing the toes to the back of the mat. All the time breathing towards the right side. You could bring that right arm down behind the back here as well if that feels better. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly start to close the chest, bring hands to the mat. And we'll just change legs the other way around. Right knee comes more under the chest. And we're going to extend the left leg behind us. You can step right hand a bit further forward. And then turn your pelvis, your chest out to the other side of the mat. And you could reach the left arm up. You could now rotate the left foot toes up to the ceiling and feel how that starts to turn the pelvis, the belly, even the chest. And you could reach that left arm closer to the head if that feels good. And again, we could rock the weight between the right hand and the left foot here. Kind of pointing the left foot toes towards the back of the mat and then turning the toes up to the ceiling. Using some gentle movement to create some movement and space along the left side body. Breathe a couple more times in and out. Again, you could look down if that releases the neck more. And then slowly start to release that twist. Bring hands to the mat. Bring both knees to the mat. And we have child's pose or lying down on the belly as we slowly find our way into the last pose. So we're going to start where we're going to end where we started from. Either child's pose or come lie down on the belly. And then in that pose, again, start to rock the pelvis from side to side. Here as well, using this gentle movement to release hips, release the lower back. Allow your neck to stay soft. Arms could be lower down next to your sides if that feels better. And again, you might continue that rocking movement, or for a moment, find some stillness. In whichever pose you are in, you could take a moment to, again, check in how you feel now after moving the body slightly. Does the body feel any different? And then notice the breath. Has the breath maybe calmed down, maybe deepened slightly? And give yourself a few more calm, slow breaths in and out. Breathing down to the belly. Breathing out to the ribs. Breathing in to your back. After those few breaths, if you feel that your morning needs a longer resting pose, or if you feel that you want to continue into further movements from here, feel free to go on with your own practice. Or if you feel that you'd be ready to slowly close the practice now, from lying down or from child's pose, bring yourself up into a seat, into any easy seat, so pose of your choice. Allowing the chest to open, shoulders to drop down. And let the breath continue to move in and out, freely, with ease. If it's part of your practice, you can bring palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of your practice, thank yourself for taking a moment to look after yourself and moving your body. And I thank you very much for joining in this morning practice. Namaste. Thank you. Good. Thank you so much for joining in. If you like the practice, before you go, please give the video a thumbs up and also leave a comment below. Let me know how you feel now and maybe how your day is going to go after this. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. There'll be loads more yoga related videos coming up. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.